How to use a walker after a hip replacement. That's the question we'll be answering on this episode of Simple Steps Mobility. Hello folks, it's Brian from Simple Steps Mobility. Today's video is going to be how to use a walker after a hip replacement. Now, it is basically it's fairly straightforward. A person probably was instructed on how to use a walker before they left the hospital after a hip replacement. Now, typically, you use a walker after the hip replacement fairly soon after the surgery. For the most part, some people may need it a little bit later on if they haven't had a very good recovery with the hip replacement. But in general, you use the walker, say, for the first 4 or 5 weeks after the hip replacement. Now, basically the cadence or what you're using the walker for is to support your bad leg or your weak leg or the painful leg when you're putting weight on it. So let's just assume that I've had my right hip replaced, okay? What you're going to want to do after a hip replacement is adjust the walker for your height. When you're standing up straight in the walker, you want the handles of the walker to hit you at the bend in the wrist. That's going to give you the most amount of support or the best leverage in order to move. If the walker is too low, you're going to have to reach for it, and you may not be able to take enough weight off your leg to make it stop hurting. Again, likewise, if it's too high, if the walker handles are too high, you're not going to be able to get enough leverage to take the weight off of the leg either. So what you want to do is you want to have it adjusted at the right height, which is going to be adjusted at the height of it is going to be at the bend of the wrist as you're standing up straight. So again, it's my right hip that's sore and painful. When I'm starting to walk or use the walker, I want to advance the walker, bring my sore leg forward first, and then bring my good leg up following. This is what's called a step 2 gait pattern, where you bring your sore leg forward and you step to it. You bring your sore leg forward and you step to it. When you have a lot of pain or when there's a lot of weakness in your leg, that's the type of gait pattern that you want to use as you're using the walker. So here we go again. You advance the walker in front of you, take a step forward, bear the weight on your arms, bring your good leg up. Advance the walker, take a step with your sore leg, bear the weight on your arms, bring your good leg up. Now, as you get a little bit better, as the pain subsides and you're able to move around a little bit more freely, what you want to do is move from a step 2 gait pattern to a step through gait pattern. When you're stepping through, or a step through gait pattern is you basically do the same thing. You advance the sore leg first, but then you step through with the other leg. So you actually pass the foot. This is a little bit more natural and normal gait cycle, and it looks sort of like this. Notice that I'm still advancing the walker first, my sore leg second, but I'm going past my sore leg with my good leg. I advance the walker again, step with my sore leg, bear the weight, step past my sore leg. Walker, sore leg, good leg. Now that cadence or that sequencing is what we generally teach people after they've had a total hip replacement or a total knee replacement or any type of surgery on their legs where they can actually put weight on their leg. Now that typically, if you are what's called weight bearing is tolerated or full weight bearing, that's typically the cadence or the sequencing that we will teach you as physical therapists. If there's a little bit, if the doctor doesn't want you putting more that much weight on your leg, then there's a little bit, you generally are going to use the step 2 gait pattern with that versus the step through gait pattern. But generally, for those of you who have had a hip replacement, basically what you want to do is you want to advance the walker, sore leg first, bring up your good leg. Advance the walker, sore leg, good leg. Advance the walker, sore leg, good leg. I hope that helps you. Subscribe to my channel for more tips and tricks using the walker, the four-wheel walker, the single point cane, and or crutches. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.